Hello, and welcome to another episode of Enter the Minds of Nadine and Vera podcast. We're so excited because we have my beautiful, talented, intelligent, wonderful daughter here today with us, Kayla. Kayla, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm 23. I have graduated from FSU with a degree in environmental science, and I minored in biology and environmental studies. I currently work with the state as a biologist, and my hope is to hopefully continue working with animals in the future.
Love that. So, along with myself, Kayla is a huge Beyonce fan, so we're going to talk all things Beyonce. But first, my mom's going to read a quote.
Yes, as quoted by Beyonce, if everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow.
I love that quote.
I agree.
What do you think it means? Do we need to make some mistakes along the way to get where we want in life?
And nothing is perfect. You have to work hard, and if you make a mistake or not such a great decision, you just make an adjustment and keep it moving.
I love it. So, first, we're going to talk about Beyonce and getting tickets to Beyonce's upcoming Cowboy Carter concert. Kayla, can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
So, tickets went on sale last week. I got to work and I immediately got on the Beyonce website so I could hurry up and get on the Ticketmaster website. I had a meeting right before, an hour before, so I was hoping my boss would hurry up with the meeting so I could get tickets on time. But yeah, finally got in at noon and it was a bit rough, but we finally got the tickets. Fortunately, after about 30 minutes, we got tickets. So we will be seeing Beyonce.
Yeah, how many times have you been to a Beyonce concert?
So I've only been once. I only went to the Renaissance tour in 2023. So that was my first time seeing Beyonce, and I loved it, of course. Had a great experience. Mom, that was your second time seeing Beyonce.
Time. So this upcoming concert will be our third time.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Kayla went to the Renaissance concert together, and she said that she loved our mommy-daughter trips, and I love it. And we asked Mom to go, but she said she didn't want to go, so it'll just be me and Kayla again. And
it's not that I don't love the idea of seeing Beyonce. I have a condition that's called anxiety. The venue is a little too big for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and besides, if I watch it on TV at home, I have a front row seat and it don't cost $500.
Mm-hmm. I've been debating on, did you watch, people were live streaming the tour last year, like the opening night?
I saw clips on TikTok and I did watch it.
I saw some clips, but I'm thinking this year I might watch the opening show, like all the way through, just to see what it's all about. Maybe.
So you can know what to expect.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I thought you liked the surprise aspect of it.
I did like the surprise aspect of Renaissance, but I think that this concert will be a lot different, especially considering it's country.
Yeah.
It's something that she hasn't really done before, so I think it'll be a completely different part of Beyonce we haven't seen. So I think I'd be interested to see what the opening night might look like.
And you think Blue Ivy will definitely be part of it? Because yes. That little young lady is every bit of her mother.
Mm-hmm. She's so talented. She's so she has a great work ethic, and she's going to have a bright future ahead of her, of course.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm going to say this because I'm Nana. I wish we were doing the video because my granddaughter is every bit as beautiful and has a beautiful singing voice and the whole 9 yards. But you know, we'll put a picture of her up later.
I'm going to say she's not being biased at all, but anyway. Yes, so Kayla came out of the womb listening to Beyonce. When I used to get ready for work, I used to listen to Dangerously in Love on repeat as when she was a baby. And now that's one of her favorite songs to this day.
It's one of mine too, believe it or not.
Yes, Dangerously in Love. My favorite song is All Night. And I love End of Time.
And Flaws and All.
Oh, Flaws and All. Can't forget Flaws and All. I was so excited last concert when she sung Flaws and All. Like, you know, you love me just for being me. I love that song.
Well, I have to admit that even 2 or 3 of her country songs I really like. Help me out. What's the name of the ones I like, Tanya?
Did you like 16 Carriages? Was that one of them?
Yes. The one that she sings with
which one?
Is it Dolly Parton?
Or is it Miley Cyrus?
Oh yeah, Miley.
Two Most Wanted.
Yeah, that's the one. I love that song because I am a country western, song person. And I was one of those people who was trying to see how in the world Beyonce would be able to sing country because she have a distinct voice. But I noticed that when she sing with artists that are true, been, country singers for a long time, it's awesome. It's awesome.
So we're still only on Act 2, and this has been going on for a couple of years, and we still have Act 3 to go to, so that's so exciting. Kayla, what do you think Act 3 is going to be?
I personally think Act 3 is going to be more rock themed. I'm thinking, what's that one song on Lemonade? The Don't Hurt Yourself.
Okay.
I'm thinking that's
the
kind of vibe she might be going for. Maybe she'll throw in like Ring the Alarm. I feel like it have a nice.
I love that. Ring the Alarm. I'd be damned if I let someone. Yeah.
That could have a good rock kind of vibe to it.
That was also another favorite of Kayla's when she was a little girl. The videos back in the day.
And what was the word? Ring the Alarm? I'd be darned if I let someone else
see another chick on your arm.
Another chick on your arm. I love that song. And the video.
Yeah. So that's my personal bet. It's going to be a rock album, but what do you think, Mom?
I personally hope that it's a Destiny's Child reunion. I just thought about it again this morning. Act 3, there's 3 of them. Destiny's Child would be an amazing. I didn't see them when I was growing up, so I would be happy to see them. And I think they might have some of the old members back as well if it was a reunion.
And my thought on that is both of you are correct, but I believe even if it's not a Destiny Child reunion, she would definitely invite them to sing 3 or 4 songs at the end or in the middle because, that's part of her everything.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening as well, especially considering people have been rumors, I think, that this might be like her retirement kind of thing she's doing.
Happen.
So, I've been hearing people say after Act 3, this might be the last thing she's doing. So I could see her bringing out Destiny's Child if that was what she's doing. I don't think she's retiring. I hope she's not.
She need to be like Tina Turner. Don't tell you can't go no more.
I still think we have another 10 years.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So, what did you think about her Super Bowl performance?
Wow, yes. So, I absolutely love the Super Bowl performance. So, it was the first time we got to hear the album live. So, it was our first taste of what the tour will be like. And I was very, very pleased. Of course, I wasn't expecting to be disappointed because it's Beyonce.
The Beyonce Bowl, yes.
Yes. She's always putting on a show. She's always entertaining. So
and I love seeing her daughter dancing with her. That is just like icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, and she was in the whole show. Yeah, she was in the whole
thing. And then
thing.
her and her mom kind of featured together dancing on a couple of spots. I love that.
That's why I think she's going to be around for at least 10 more years because Rumi has to get in there too. Rumi can't wait to get out there and do something with her sister.
So what do you think of this when she do retire? Blue Ivy may take it over.
She might.
We don't know if she's a singer though. Have you ever heard her sing?
No, but I think we didn't see the new Lion King movie. But did she sing in the Lion King movie? She's the voice of one of the characters.
Oh, okay. We have to watch that.
So maybe she sang. So we'll have to see. But we already know she has dancing down. So
I just wish that her sister Solange. She can sing and dance. I wish she was more part of Beyonce show, but I know being sisters, she want her own thing. What is she doing?
No, she sings and she's very successful. She just does her own thing separate of Beyonce.
Yeah,
but
I like to see them together though.
It is kind of cool to see them together.
We saw them together at Coachella.
Coachella with them dancing together.
You saw them
They have
together in the
something
movie.
special.
In the movie too, they did.
That's what she's talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Any last words about Beyonce?
I'm just very excited for the concert coming up. I can't wait for it. So that's gonna be one of the things that makes my summer.
Yes.
Well, I would like to say this. Check on this. That used to be my
Check on it.
ringtone. Check on it.
That's a good one.
Yes, indeed. All her old ones. I'm having a lemonade. I didn't know. Maybe I didn't really listen as well, but I am, digging the country one. Yeah.
Okay, moving right along. Next, we're going to talk about the movie Wicked.
Ooh.
So me and Kayla went to go see the movie in theaters.
Yes.
And I wasn't very familiar with Wicked, but I used to love
The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz was my favorite movie as a kid. I watched it over and over again. And so just to see Wicked and see the story before was awesome. What did you think about the movie, Kayla?
Yeah, so I also went into Wicked with not having any idea what it was about. Even being a musical person, I'd never seen or heard Wicked. So I went in blind, of course, knowing Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, knowing their great singing voices. I expected for it to be good, but it was a lot better than I even went in thinking it was going to be. Great story, great singing, of course. It was a bit long, but I didn't get bored. It's almost 3 hours, and I didn't get bored at one part. So I think it was a very good movie.
Mom, what did you like about the movie?
I was just blown away because Ariana, the only thing I wasn't really familiar with how well she sung. I have some cologne that one of my nieces bought me, but I really didn't know. And the two singers, you named them, Ariana and
Cynthia.
They blew me away. It was like awesome. So I really liked the movie. I liked the storyline. And yes, it was long, but it was fun. It was fun to watch. And by the way, Latanya and Kayla went to the movies to see it, and then I was directed to see it. We bought it so that I could see it at home, and it was a good movie. If you get the opportunity to watch it, you will not be disappointed.
It's on Amazon Prime. I love their friendship and how they got to their friendship. That story was pretty awesome to see their friendship grow and to see how special that was. And so now it's going to be kind of hard. I can't wait to see the next movie to see how their friendship kind of dissolves or if it, how that story turns out.
Well, my question is, what about the movie storyline that you read as true to life that really happens when it comes to friendship? Okay.
Ask your question again. What do you mean by that question?
You know how they was, like Tanya say, the way their friendship grew and then it may resolve or whatever. So looking at the storyline of Wicked, what parts of it that you could actually relate to real life?
Well, I think there's a ton of real life, what's the word? Connections I can make, because the movie feels like they're tackling very real problems, issues that we're dealing with today. We could start off with just Cynthia's character, her being green. It's very obvious a parallel to her being a colored person. So I think that has to do a lot with, not necessarily in the movie, because of course you have black characters in the movie. It's not about that, but the parallel to real life, how being different makes you an enemy somehow. It makes you, being different is scary to people. So I think that's it's an important lesson that the movie goes through, in her learning to accept herself and see herself for who she is rather than listening to what everyone else is telling her she is.
Awesome.
So that was a good journey to see her go through. And I think Cynthia did a great job as an actress, portraying that growth in her character for sure.
Awesome. I totally agree.
And that's a good point that you make. And also, who was her protege in the movie? What was her name? The teacher?
Oh, yes. I can't remember her name, but you're a teacher.
Yeah, so also her teacher being her so-called protege, and in the end, just kind of turning on her. That kind of can relate to real life, too. You trust superiors, and then they can also, turn and not do right by you, and so that could be related to real life as well.
And the correlation that I made with real life is connected to both you and Tanya's comment. Uh, People find it very difficult to be happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being happy for you, the green-eyed monster comes in.
Right.
And it's sad. So you should never put all your trust and belief in any one person because they can turn on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not you.
Yeah. It's important to have that in yourself first before anything, because if you don't have it in yourself, like you said, you can't necessarily rely on everyone to do that for you.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what Alphaba's story was about, learning to find that in herself. And we saw that at the end of the movie. She really came into herself. And even though at the end of the movie she was, the villain of the story, she was able to accept who she was, and she went off by herself to write her own story.
And you know what? I love the fact that it wasn't just entertaining. As I looked, reviewed the movie, it was educational. It had meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you go and you watch it, try to look at it from the point of view of realization, because it has a lesson in it.
Mm-hmm.
To everyone at every age.
So I say that, family should be proud of their other family members. Friends should be proud of their friends. It's not a competition. It's enough in this world for everybody to be successful and happy and do great things. So just be happy for one another. That's my take from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So next we're going to talk about one of Kayla's favorite thing, and that we're going to talk about traveling. This girl is a travelaholic at only 23 years old.
A world traveler.
Yes.
I knew at a very young age that Kayla was going to be my child that's going to want to possibly one day live overseas and never come back home. And I might have to move with her just so I can see her.
And that's why it would be awesome. Tell the audience about your traveling overseas. Start with the very first one and to the last, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So the first out-of-country trip I took was my junior year of high school. They were doing a spring break trip to Italy for about 10 days. And I remember bringing it up to you guys and just, really being really excited to go. And you guys supported me through that, of course, and which I'm very, very grateful for. So Italy was my first out-of-trip experience, and that was amazing. That pretty much solidified that I really, really wanted to travel. And so after that, the next one was after I graduated high school. Nana was deployed in Germany. So we actually had a 2-week trip to Germany and France, and that was amazing, traveling with the family. I think that was probably the biggest trip we've ever done as a family.
It was.
And it was a great trip. We had some bumps along the way, but it was very fun. And then after that, which might be one of my favorites, for my first year of college, I actually studied abroad in Panama in Central America. I was there for about 7 months. And I've been taking Spanish classes throughout the years, but being in Panama really helped me to more so solidify my Spanish and be more confident with it. So along with being able to travel to another country, it also allowed me to be more proficient in a second language, which I love languages. So that was a very big deal for me. And then lastly, the more recent trip I went on, the biggest trip I've done was last year. I did about a month backpacking trip in Europe in 2024. And I went to about 9 different countries. Went to Germany, Italy, France, Greece, Amsterdam, Switzerland, a few more in there.
London.
Yeah, London, Spain, a couple more in between. But yeah, it was an amazing trip. I still haven't really processed all of it. I still look at the pictures and I'm like, there's no way I was there doing that. So I'm just very grateful that I'm in the position I am in to be able to do all these trips, because of course things are hard. If I wasn't living at home, I definitely wouldn't be able to do that. So I'm very glad that you guys like me at home. We get along. We love each other. So good luck getting me out anytime soon.
And tell them about the hourglass message that we had buried at your high school, and you were able to open it your senior year.
Oh,
We had
the time capsule?
the time capsule, yeah.
Yeah, so we did a time capsule in high school. We wrote them, of course, freshman year. And and they gave it back to us after, I guess, during graduation, right before graduation. And so I had a few notes from the family, and it was very sweet. And it was the biggest part about that for me was realizing just how much things have changed from freshman year to senior year. Because in those 4 years, it doesn't necessarily feel like so much is changing. But then when you look back, I mean, even now looking back, I'm 23, but it's crazy to think about freshman year was 9 years ago.
Well, do you remember calling me in Germany when you read my message?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? You remember my message?
I remember what you go ahead. I've been talking. What did you say?
I would like for you to say. I want to know what you remember about my message.
I remember you definitely put my special someone like you always do. That's your saying for us. I think you also told me was that when you told me we were going to see you over there? Mm-hmm. Right, something like that. You alluded to it.
Yeah, basically I said, I know that you will graduate at the top of your class with honors, and you did. And I say, and you will enjoy your trip overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you calling me because I was in Germany or somewhere, who knows. And you was like, Nana, how did you know? Because you have always had a bright light, just as your brother, that shine, that go-getter, that works hard, and you deserve whatever you get. Mm-hmm. And so between me and your mom, we were going to make it happen, right, Tanya?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And again, that's something I'm very grateful for. A lot of people aren't fortunate enough to have that in their lives. So I'm very fortunate to have that and have people in my life who love me so much. And I'm very happy because we're also going on another trip together coming up this summer.
Yes.
We'll be going to Italy. This will be William's celebration for his graduation last year. He's now in his second semester of college.
No, third semester.
Third semester. That's crazy. He's a sophomore.
Yes.
And I can't process that.
He's growing up on us so fast.
Yeah. I'm like, what's the hurry? But yeah, we're going to Italy as well as Rome too, right?
Yeah, we're going to Rome, Venice, and
Florence.
Mm-hmm. Me, Mom, Kayla, Catherine, and William, and that should be a fun week in Italy.
Yes.
This summer, so I'm happy about that. We didn't go last summer because I needed knee surgery, so we are all ready to go.
Yeah, it's designed where LaTanya and I stick together because we the slow one, and then Kayla will have to be the one to keep up with the two younger ones. But we're gonna have a great time. I know we will.
Absolutely.
And the food. Oh, tell them about the food in Italy.
Yes, I'm excited for the lasagna. Going to Italy for the first time made me like lasagna. I did not like lasagna before going to Italy. Ever since, I've loved it. So, lasagna is my favorite thing to get in Italy. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Now, what was your favorite part when you did your 5-week overseas trip? Like, what city, country did you like the best?
So, I think one of my favorite cities that we went to was the first one. We flew into Barcelona. That was the first day or the first few days of the trip. And like I said, I've been taking Spanish classes for a while, so it was really cool to be able to go over there and, speak the language and be able to order my food in Spanish or ask for directions in Spanish. But it was also just a very beautiful place. I hadn't really expected Barcelona to. I hadn't expected it to be my favorite place in general, but just the atmosphere was really good. The food was good, which I actually wasn't expecting for me to like the food that much. I'm a bit picky, but I really like the food. So yeah, Barcelona was my favorite. And then I'll have to say another favorite was the last place we went to, which was Greece. We went to Athens and then Paros. So Paros was probably one of my favorite places. Paris is on the beach a little bit. So we're on the beach, and I'm not a big fan of the beach, but it was nice. It was peaceful just to be able to sit out there. And the day before we left, I was just sitting out there on the beach, just looking at the waves and just, processing the trip and just taking it all in. So
Okay.
those are my favorite places, Barcelona and Paris.
And you also went to see some plays when you were over there too. What plays did you see?
Yes. So when I was in London, I went to go see a few. I saw a play every day in London. That was my goal going there. So we were there for 3 days. The first day I went, I believe I saw The Book of Mormon. That was hilarious. It's kind of like a satire type show. So that was great. Second show I saw was Hamilton. And Hamilton is one of the first big musicals I got into as a kid. So that was a great experience being able to see that on the West End. And then the last one I saw was Phantom of the Opera. And that's, of course, a classic. I didn't know anything about Phantom of the Opera except for one song going in. And it blew my mind. It was so good. The acting was great. The staging effects were great. So yeah, London was a great time because of all the plays.
When you were in London, because when I was in London, we actually, when we were on the tour bus going somewhere, we passed by a Hamilton location, like they had the actual building, the statue. So Hamilton is big time over there.
Oh,
yeah.
So, Mom, you've been to a lot of places. If you would tell someone a favorite place to go, at least one place they should go overseas, what place would that be?
I always say Italy.
Italy?
Okay. Italy have great food. It's a beautiful country. But once you get there, there's so many famous places like the Pisa Tower. It's the connection that you can make to other places like Rome. Catch a train. Don't take any time to get to Florence. And I just loved it. I really did.
Well, I've never been to Italy, so I'm looking forward to doing all the things. And we have a personal guide with Kayla and my mom who's been there a couple of times, so they can be able to tell us all the cool places to go.
Yes.
Back to our 2019 trip to Germany and Paris. I love that it was the whole family that went, and we also brought one of Kayla's friends with us as well. William was only 13 years old, so he didn't even want to go, but once we got over there, he had the best time of his life as well. It was his first time on an airplane, which was pretty cool. My favorite parts of that trip was not only the fact that we was always together, but we had like our little moments. Like, what was your friend's name? Sadie. Yeah, so me, Kayla, and Sadie one day just was taking pictures at like this Paris cafe, or just like had like a photo shoot. Sadie's like dancing to Michael Jackson, and then we went to a Japanese park or a Japanese place one day. What was it called?
Yeah, the Japanese garden.
A Japanese garden, which was beautiful, even though it was in Germany. Germany is the most beautiful places, though. It's like the greenest green I've ever seen.
It's like God's country. Everything is big and beautiful and
we went to
healthy.
we went to a castle, and I mean, we went to the Palace of Versailles. And
now that was Paris.
Yes, I'm just
Name
saying.
all the places we went to in Paris.
Palace of Versailles. What was the other museum?
The Louvre.
The Louvre. That was. Both of those places are so big, it's almost impossible to see every inch. The Louvre, we got to see the Mona Lisa, and we still didn't get to see we didn't get to see everything because it was just too much to walk.
Yeah. And then we went to the Love Bridge or something where...
Yeah, you could pick the locks, the love locks on the bridge. That's what I wanted to do.
I'm still waiting on my lover, whoever he is.
I'm still waiting on my love, too. That's neither here nor there. What else did we do? In Germany, we went to one of the palaces, and we went to the small town that, what was the name of that person? Marx. He was born there. Some famous person was born in this small town that we went to, but we had a good time.
Absolutely.
And yeah, being stationed there, I went to quite a few places in castle in Germany. The only thing I regret is I didn't get to go to the solemn, the place where they kill the Jews. What you call that place?
Oh, to the concentration
I didn't get
camps?
to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I really want to see that is because we all need to remember it wasn't just the Jews that were, you know, killed and everything. You can look at every race. They used to call the Caucasian Slav. They were slaughtered. Japanese was slaughtered. Black was slaughtered. And Jews were slaughtered. And I think that we just need to remember each other. There's no one race that was, you know, terminated like that. And it's
Mm-hmm.
sad.
Yeah, it absolutely is. On my trip last year, when I went to Germany, I was able to visit one of the concentration camps.
Okay.
And I can't say the city, but I went to Dachau, starts with a D, but it was one of the bigger concentration camps during World War II. And it was very, I don't know a good word to use for it, but solemn may be a good word.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could feel you could feel the history there. You see, walking on grounds that people suffered on just for who they were, not for any choices they made. So it was very almost kind of humbling to be able to experience that. And of course, now it's almost set up as a little museum. So you have stories of people who were there.
Mm-hmm.
Stories of people who ended up escaping, because some people were able to escape and see what they were able to do after that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a great experience being able to visit and just hear the stories of what people went through. And like you said, it's important to remember because everyone's gone through it, and there's no reason to continue putting ourselves through that. We're all human, no matter what race we
Exactly.
are.
So what I say to traveling is travel if you can. Travel, travel, travel. Get that history behind you. And if you can't travel overseas, there's plenty of places in the United States to go to travel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't go far, if you live in Florida, go to Georgia. And if you live in California, go to Arizona. So just try to travel different places, even if it is in your own states. Um, Traveling is important. I feel like it heals your soul. It heals my soul. Being with family, traveling also heals my soul. So just travel if you can. Travel, travel.
It's funny that you say that because do you know there are people who have never traveled out of
Their own
their
state.
city.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, when you
Mm-hmm.
were little, and I took your little friends, Dee Dee
Jared.
and Jared, I just took them with us to SeaWorld in Texas, and they had
Mm-hmm.
never left Baton Rouge. You know, so like Tanya said, it's important, and it's very important for the growth of youth, you know, to see and know that there are different things.
Out there in the world to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know, Kayla, you only been out of college for about a year, a little over a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right after college, you did an internship in Nebraska. But how do you feel about being in the real world, actually having a real job and paying bills? And how does that feel?
So it's at first it was a bit daunting just because it's the first time that I think I've really been able to really experience the adult life. I could have a job while I was in college, and that feels more like adult life, but I'm still in college. It's different, working, only working versus being in school and working, or just being in school. Um, but the more I've been thinking about it, the more I'm real. Yeah, the other day I was realizing that I'm doing what I wanted to do, what I was saying I wanted to do when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Working with animals, and I'm just really really happy that I've been able to stick to kind of the path I've been creating for myself. Because I mean, it's not that I never thought that I would get here, but it's so cool to have dreams I had as a kid coming to life now. So like I said earlier, I'm a biologist with the state. And actually, last week I was able to go out on a snake survey. And snakes are one of my favorite animals. I think they're so cool. And Nana's giving me a look right now. But I love animals, and going on that survey, it definitely affirmed for me that I do want to work hand in hand with animals, with wildlife, and study them. And so the goal from here is just to keep going, keep working with animals, maybe get into research with wildlife. But yeah, it's been very cool to see that I'm at where I want it to be at this point in life.
Well, I still see Kayla in the future, maybe 10 years down the road in Africa one day dealing with lions and tigers.
And bears.
Or in the middle of the ocean dealing with sharks, and that's going to be frightening. But I'm just happy that she's doing what she's loved doing, and I will take a little credit for that. Do you think me taking you to the zoos when you're young and to aquariums and to like the alligator tours and all those animal things, do you think that gave you your love for animals?
Absolutely. I absolutely think that is what cultivated my love for animals and nature. Being able to experience it. Because it's one thing, I remember growing up with an animal like ABC book. It's, one thing reading that as a kid. It's another, like you said, going to an alligator farm or going to the zoos or just whatever, doing our nature outings. I think that definitely cultivated that love for me. And
Yeah.
I think without it, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be as into animals and nature at
Well,
all.
I think that you would, because you guys, you and William, and I think that's why William is also following along with the environmental science degree, biology degree right now, because you guys just love learning about animals. You guys wanted the books about snakes and dinosaurs. I know dinosaurs is not an animal, but all the animal books. You guys wanted those dictionaries, and you guys knew more stuff, more facts about animals than you did about anything else. So that's what I love, that you guys love learning about animals.
And Tanya, you can even push that back. It started with your daddy, Terry Sr., who loved taking y'all. We had an annual pass to go to the zoo, which means San Antonio Zoo is humongous. We went to the zoo so much we knew the name of some of the animals. And so when you was real little, being taken to the park and the zoo, and we went to aquarium, whatever. So that's where it started in your mind.
Right, but I didn't go into the animal field.
I mean,
but you're saying I passed it along to my kids.
Yeah, you made it bigger.
Yeah. But if it was up to you, you would have told me not to have the kids at the zoo because you were afraid that the animals were going to get out.
That was later when Tatiana the tiger, was it a tiger?
I think so. At the Baton
jumped
Rouge
the moat.
or
It was in California where the tiger jumped the whatever you call it.
the enclosure, the gate.
Yeah, and killed 3 people because they were taunting them. And I was like, I told you, an animal, if they really want to get out, can get out. So. But even before that, I've always had in my mind just watching, making sure, because if a human is taking care of an animal can get out.
So whenever I took the kids somewhere, I would just tell Mama or send her the pictures after the fact, so she wouldn't be able to tell me not to take them.
Yeah, and I got pictures of Kayla holding a python and William sitting on the back of an alligator, and they go canoeing and flip over.
Now that was scary.
And we have this beautiful, I guess it was part of the river walk in Baton Rouge. And they had said on the news it was a huge alligator in there. And I'm looking at William holding up a big fish standing on the edge of the little river. And I'm going, oh my goodness, an alligator could have came and chopped him up.
No, I think that was at a fishing pond when we went fishing one time.
It was big water next to the water.
Yeah, and the kids used to love going fishing too. So that's another thing the kids always love, just being around water. Kayla, if you had any advice to give to people that are fresh out of college, trying to get that first job, because I know that it was a little difficult to get the first job, what would your advice be to them?
I think the thing that helped me the most with starting to get into the field is looking for experiences in college. So I think one of the best things I did was do an internship in my last semester of college, because that internship, while it you know let me do work with wildlife and get more experience under my belt, it also was a good networking experience. So especially for the field I'm in, apparently everyone knows everyone in the biology field. So I think making those connections through networking is going to be a good first step in getting a job after college. And after that, I would say just be open to trying new things. When I was looking for my internship in Nebraska, I hadn't ever considered going to Nebraska before that, but I saw it, thought it would be a cool opportunity. And that job wasn't even really working with animals. It was more so working with invasive plants. So it wasn't something exactly that I wanted to go into, but it was different. And I knew it would look good on my resume. And it was only a 6-month thing. So I said, why not? And it ended up being a much better experience than I thought.
It was beautiful up there
It
too.
was amazing.
When I went up
Yes.
there with Kayla, and there was otters in some of the rivers or ponds,
Had
and
beautiful
and
waterfalls.
didn't you discover a endangered bird that they hadn't seen in like forever?
Yeah, some species of bird that hadn't been seen in Nebraska for like 30 or 40 years. I was eating lunch in the break room with my boss, and we just turned and looked out the window, and the bird was just sitting there, and
pretty cool.
just very cool. My name's on the website with credit for the pictures.
And what about, didn't you get to see or work with bisons?
Yeah, they have an annual, I want to say it's called a bison run. Basically, they just transfer the bison to a different part of the land for half the year. And that was a very cool experience, because even through that internship, I was able to go to other places. I worked at a wildlife refuge. I was able to go to other refuges, make more connections with people, networking, get more experience under my belt. So even though my job directly wasn't an animal job, I was still able to see animals, work with animals, and just get more knowledge. So, yep, I definitely say start while you're in college getting experience, internships if you can, volunteer, and be open to trying something new, even if it's temporary.
That's awesome, Kayla.
Yes.
So now we're going to ask you some rapid fire questions. So just tell us the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
First question is, what is your most prized possession?
Prized possession. That's a good question. I'd probably say but I'd probably say my blue diamond earrings. I'd probably say that.
What?
Only because I've had them for so long, and it makes you so happy every time I wear them, and I'm very serious about not losing them. So I'd probably say that, and it's probably the thing I've kept up with for the longest.
Oh my goodness.
They're special. I love my blue diamond earrings.
And you know what? She allowed me to wear them the entire time they were in Germany. And I thought that was awesome because let me tell you, Kayla is very particular about her things. And when she said that I could wear them, because I was in civilian clothes instead of uniform, I thought that was awesome. And when they were ready to go, I made sure I remembered to give them back to her.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes.
Yep.
What is your favorite meal?
Ooh, favorite meal. Probably Hamburger Helper.
Yeah.
That's been the same since I was a kid. It's a good comfort meal. Good nostalgia with it. It's not the best tasting. It's not like the greatest tasting. It's not crazy spices or anything, but it's good.
You feel like making some today?
Maybe next weekend. Next weekend.
Just check it.
Who is your best friend?
My best friend? Best friend in what way? Because I could answer that in a couple of different ways.
Okay.
I have a best friend, like just friend. My friend Fabiola, she's one of my best friends. Mm-hmm. My friend Sky is one of my best friends. Mm-hmm. But I've always thought of you, Ma, as a best friend. We've been friends. I know you're obviously my mom, but we've.
So if I say you're my best friend, you don't cringe a little bit?
No, I don't. No, why would I?
I don't get on your nerves.
You get on my nerves enough for a mom, regularly.
Okay.
But I think, especially since we have a lot of the same interests as well, it's like especially like when we're seeing Beyonce together, like that feels like
any concert.
yeah, yeah. I would say
And
yeah,
our
one of my
interests
best
really
friends.
do align. It's not forced. It's like we just really do like some of the same things.
Exactly.
And same with your mom. Okay, I love that. What do you most like to do with me?
What do I most like to do? I probably some of my most favorite times with you is probably just watching TV with you.
Law and Order.
Law and
SVU.
Order, yep. Just when we have our little discussions in between and figuring out the end of the episode before, like in the first 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Okay, we have about 4 more questions I'd like to ask.
Okay.
What's your hidden talent?
Hidden talent.
That the world don't know. We may know, but what would you like to share? What's your talent?
I don't think I really have a hidden talent. Anything I could say, maybe singing, because I don't really put that out there anymore. But yeah, I'll say singing, I guess, music.
Okay. Where's your happy place?
My happy place. My happy place is probably just in my room with the dogs, just on a nice Saturday, just not working, just in the middle of the day, don't have any responsibilities for that day. That's my happy place.
Okay. And what is your favorite movie?
Ooh. I have 2 favorite movies. One of them is either Coraline.
Oh, yeah.
I saw they had, I think, the 10 or 15-year anniversary in movie theaters last year. I saw that with Fabiola in 3D. That was great. So Coraline and then Spirited Away, one of the Ghibli movies. I think those would have to be my 2 favorite movies.
Last but not least, what are some of your favorite songs?
Ooh, that's a hard question.
I know.
Okay, so I have to, of course, have to have a Beyonce song in there. "Dangerously in Love," like I said, you were saying earlier, probably one of my favorite, if not favorite, Beyonce songs of all time. I really like favorite songs. I also really do like Sam Smith. He has a song called "One Last Song." That's one of my favorite songs. And then if I had to put in one more, I might say, I think I would go with maybe "Caught Up" by Usher. No, "Confessions Part 2"
Okay,
by Usher.
that sounds better. Confessions.
Yes, "Confessions."
I'm like caught up.
It's a good one, but no, "Confessions" is a lot more classic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kayla, for joining us for another episode of Enter the Minds of Nadine and Vera podcast.
Absolutely.
We will have her on again soon. Hopefully
Maybe
we'll
with video next time.
We'll do a video next time, and hopefully maybe we'll talk about her younger years, her younger life, and some of the things she did when she was a kid. We thank you so much. Please go listen on Spotify. You just search Enter the Minds of Nadine and Vera Scaniers. You can listen also on YouTube as well, Nadine and Vera Scaniers. And thank you so much for joining us today. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.